Welcome back to the SYL Podcast, a podcast created by SYLP students to explore stories that can reconnect our cultures and communities. I'm your host, Andrew, and today I'm excited to speak with a local artist whose work you've probably seen. Even if you don't know her name, Maddie or Madeline Chan, who was a muralist who's brought life and color to the walls locally, such as cafes, blending tradition, identity, and storytelling through public art. And through this, we'll talk about that experience, her transition from tech to art, and how murals can be just more than just paint. They can be tools to bridge generational gaps and celebrate identity. Well then, let's get started, shall we?
Yeah.
Good so far? Okay. So, Maddie, what inspired you to focus your artwork in the
Wait, that's the one we didn't want.
Oh my gosh. Wait, my thing didn't. Okay. I edited it on my laptop, right? And it
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
work.
that's okay. That's okay.
Okay. Cut this out, cut this out. Can you tell us a little bit more about your journey from studying computer science to becoming a mural artist?
Yeah. Yeah. So I studied computer science at UW, and as a freshman, I didn't know what I wanted to go into. So I was in engineering, and then I just got into computer engineering too. And so it was very just like put in front of me, and I was really blessed to have that. But I think it was pretty clear to see like a year or two into the program, or no, actually, I didn't realize that until I graduated. But
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
once I graduated, I did not like it. I saw my friends working as software devs, and I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to be debugging for the rest of my life. I can't do it. And so I took a gap year, a hiatus, and yeah, I didn't apply to jobs. I also looked into UX, but yeah, when this art and mural project for Toasted fell into my lap, I was like, I've always loved art, and I don't know, it seems like a really cool opportunity to get paid to do art. I'd also never done murals before, and so that felt like a really cool and very public medium of art that I was excited to try. Um, but yeah, I had always like grown up taking art classes in high school and college. Like I was always stacking all of my CS classes with as many art classes as I could, just because I loved them. Um, so yeah, art had always been a part of my life, but I never expected that I would get to, yeah, work with such cool people. The owners for Toasted were really great. And yeah, they let me do whatever design I wanted. They trusted me, which also felt really cool. And yeah, when I was painting, I remember the first time I painted that one at UW. I was there for like 12 hours straight and I loved it. And I was like, oh my God, I'm getting paid so many dollars per hour for this. And I like was just imagining myself at a desk debugging and I was like, I love it. And so yeah, it was great. It was never like tedious or boring, and yeah, it was great. I loved it.
What was one mural project that meant the most to you?
Mm. I really did love the toasted project I did for South Lake Union.
Mhm.
It was the third and final one I did with them, and it was by far the biggest. It was huge, but this is the one that I actually felt like told a story rather than just maybe like aesthetics. And yeah, it like told the story of how Jafar and Marat like met at UW, but also grew up in the Middle East and like wanted their bagels and them to like tell that story. And so yeah, I just got to paint this really big and colorful and like hodgepodge of all these different landmarks, but it kind of looks cohesive. Um, yeah, huge mural. And so that one is definitely my favorite. It's the one I'm most proud of. And the one I try to get my friends to go see if they want to see a mural. Yeah.
So how do you come up with the concepts for each mural?
Yeah. Um, Usually I start by sitting down with the client and just kind of asking them like what they envisioned for the space. A lot of times they don't have an idea. They're kind of just like, here,
Oh,
have this space, go ahead and measure it. sometimes like they've given me like inspiration words like we want it really colorful, or we want it really graphic, or we want it really like kind of like Asian or Chinese inspired or Mediterranean or Middle Eastern inspired. And so
So they just like
yeah,
so they just describe like their vision to you.
yeah, kind of the vibe. And like sometimes they have like aspects that they really want to include. Like for the toasted one, they really wanted like one specific landmark from like Turkey. But yeah, for the most part, I just get their vibe. I sit them down, I talk to them, and then I take all those kind of ideas that they were talking about. Maybe I pull up some inspiration pictures from just like from Google or something. And then yeah, then I go into like Figma or Procreate or something and kind of start sketching stuff out. I usually sketch like 3 to 4 designs that I like, and then I send them to them, and then they look them over and see what vibe they kind of like. I try and make them really different too, so that they can get like a wide variety. But yeah.
Is there a community input role that plays in your creative process?
Um, for because the cafe murals were a private company, not really. But for the upcoming one I have in Chinatown, my yeah, my client just basically said that he wants it's like a business building. So he wants all of the businesses to kind of have input to like what the design will be. So yeah, I think he's talking to them, kind of asking them what they want on their like main walls.
Yeah.
Um, I've I've heard in Chinatown specifically that there is like some board of really old Chinese people that kind of like dictate a little bit, like very, very under the radar, but kind of dictate the like vibe and like maintaining the traditional Asian roots of Chinatown. I
Mhm.
don't really know the extent to what this happens. Like I don't know what that looks like, but my client has said that there is something of a panel, and I'm like, I don't think I'm ever gonna talk to them or meet them, but I think yeah, just that's completely separate from my work. But yeah, I think there
Um,
is something that like maintains the cu culture, Asian history preservation of Chinatown. So
yeah.
it's interesting to hear about.
Is there any I mean, what does the process of reconnecting with your culture through art look like?
Oh, um, yeah, I think this question is mainly applicable to the Chinatown mural that I'm going to do. Yeah, it was hard. I am third gen Cantonese American, and so I don't necessarily feel super connected to my Chinese heritage all the time. Like my parents went to Franklin, like they grew up here, and so I think it was hard to like feel so out of water for doing like my client wanted like an Asian inspired, a Chinese inspired mural. Um, but yeah, so I don't know if this is necessarily work specifically for the mural, but I have been personally trying to, yeah, sounds weird, but like talk to my grandma more in Mandarin. I've been taking Mandarin classes, and so I think just like being able to talk to her in her
Yeah.
mother tongue has been really special. I really suck at Mandarin, but yeah, it's hard because I think a lot of that insecurity of like not being able to speak the language, not knowing like all of the traditional, I don't know, values and views, it really does kind of play into my art, and I don't want it to. I don't want the insecurity to shine through the art because that's not great. But yeah, so it's I think reconnecting with my culture in an art sense really is intertwined with reconnecting with it in a personal sense. And so, yeah, they're just very intertwined.
Um, do you have any advice that you would give to other Asian Americans who feel disconnected from their roots?
Hmm. Yeah, I I would say it's hard because everyone has different levels of like maybe connection points. I definitely feel like a lot of my extended family is maybe some of my biggest connection points. But I would encourage anyone to like hang out with other people that are of your culture. I think that I've learned a lot just from,
Just like
yeah, my friends who are like, yeah, first and second gen and like I don't know. I think it's also kind of accepting the fact that your like story, your generation, your connection to your heritage is yours and it's not something that's like not enough or um yeah, something that you need to rapidly improve in order to like be a better person. Like it's not that. It's yours. Um and yeah, I think it makes me really sad if anyone were to ever directly get a comment like you're not Chinese enough, you're not Vietnamese enough, you're not Filipino enough. Like that would just be heartbreaking to me. And I think if you do encounter any of those people, maybe don't hang out with them. Like I think that having an open mindset about heritage is yeah, it's hard, but and but it's great to find when you do. And yeah,
yeah, it's great to reconnect with your culture and stuff.
yeah, yeah. I do know that like I don't know, just like my cousin went back to she went back to Sichuan, and I think that's where my grandma's family's from, and it was great for her, and she loved it, and she really did feel really connected to her culture, and so there is always that. But like, if you can't go on a trip like that, or can't learn Mandarin, or yeah, I don't know, there's always other ways. Connect with other Asians.
Do you think public art can help bridge cultural gaps?
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I think in every part of the process too. Like, yeah, if and I think I do want to do this, like me getting to talk to both other generations of people of my yeah, of my Chinese culture and also people of different ages, I think is like a really nice way to like, I don't know, create communities, create conversations where like connecting can happen, but also just like on the viewing side, I think art is for everyone and I can like impact everyone in different ways. And so like someone seeing a contemporary Asian art mural, like maybe a young person would, I don't know,
I can,
interact with it differently than like an old person in Chinatown. And I kind of love that. So yeah, I
now,
do
this
think
might seem
on
a
both
little
ends of the
off
spectrum.
topic, but what would your dream mural project be if you had no budget or limit?
Ooh, hmm, maybe just paint a cruise ship. Just
On
kidding.
cruise ship?
I'm kidding, I'm kidding.
Like as big as
Uh
or
I feel
like
like
just like
my dream mural would be something related to food, actually. I think that I've always just really liked painting and drawing food. And my family really loves food. We've always had a special love for food. And so I don't know, maybe something uh like a culmination of all the like Seattle cuisines would be really
oh my God.
cool, or like Bite of Seattle. I don't know. Anything related to the culinary arts would be really sick. So, yeah.
What was one thing you wish someone told you when you were younger about pursuing art?
Hmm. Um, yeah, I think for me, I think if someone were to tell me to kind of just like let go of the self judgments early, I think would have been really powerful for me because I think I look back on the art that I made in high school and I can just see the little Maddie like picking everything apart and like wanting it to be perfect and like spending so much time on it being perfect and very little time on just like the kind of art that you just kind of throw together and like you don't really care what it looks like.
Mhm.
Um, and it's for you. And so I think, yeah, if someone maybe had fostered or helped me foster those kinds of just like throw it together art for the sake of making it rather than what it looks like, I would have really loved and like maybe helped along the way. Yeah, kind of
No.
similar to the fish thing that we did in that class. Yeah.
Oh my
That
gosh.
when we did that exercise, it really brought me back to when I did that in high school. And I was like,
That
this
was
was
really
my favorite
fun.
exercise. Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that activity.
Yay. I'm glad.
So, this is for all the artists out there, but how do you stay motivated when facing creative blocks?
Hmm. Yeah. Currently having kind of been in one, I think my tip is like just to reach outside of yourself and talk to other people. I think for me, it's really hard for me to just get unstuck like by myself. Or okay, one tip is to yeah, reach outside of yourself, talk to other people. I actually reached out to my cousin recently about this Chinatown mural, and I was like, hey, Brant, I think I'm kind of reaching some sort of block. Like, would you be down to like do kind of a brainstorming session with me because he is really into art. He's got super technical skills, but also just this crazy imagination. And I think I just needed a little bit of that creative energy. And so I think we're gonna brainstorm a little bit next week. So yeah, that tip of just like bringing someone else in, bringing new and fresh energy in. And then I think the other tip I would give is to like walk around and look at other people being creative, other people doing art. Um, I think it was recent that I was walking around in Chinatown and I walked past those murals that are, or those pillars that are red with the fish on them. And I was like,
Oh yeah, those.
those are so cool. And I don't know, I was like very inspired by just how simple but effective it was. And yeah, kind of got my creative juices going a little bit too. So yeah, just go get inspired elsewhere rather than putting so much pressure on having the inspiration come from inside of you. Because sometimes it's just not. Sometimes there's just an off day or an off week. Yeah.
Um, why do you think it's important for young people to try art, even if they don't think they're good at it?
Mm, yeah. Um, yeah, I just think that art really, it really challenges very specific parts of your brain in the same way that sports do. Sorry, not that sports and art are complete opposites, but yeah, I think art really has a lot, like pulls from a lot of different parts of your life of like, yeah, the non-judgment thing I was talking about of just like how the good and bad spectrum has really been tied to art. Like, oh, that's good art, or like very technical art, or it's very emotional or something. Like all of those words can be put on there without good and bad.
Mm.
Um, yeah, and I do also think that like you develop an eye for like color or shadow or emotion or like texture. And I think that you can't just expect yourself to have that right off the bat. And so to develop that, you kind of have to do it. Um, yeah, and I think for myself, this is kind of a weird analogy, but I used to play piano. And so I appreciate piano music the best because I know how hard it is.
Yeah, I
Um,
get
and so I think if you try art, it just opens up your eyes for seeing other people's art and knowing how much it took them, how hard the design process was even before you like start on a medium, like how good their eye is for like their own sense of style and color and texture and all those things I was talking about. Like you just really appreciate how hard it is once you know how hard it is for yourself.
it.
Um, yeah, and I think it gets easier. Yeah, even if you're not quote unquote good at it, like I don't think that. I think that's a sad construct to kind of live in. And you might surprise yourself. Yeah, at
Always
like
be
how
honest. You're
yeah
right.
maybe not how good you are, but just how fun it is. Like it can
Yeah.
just be fun. Draw some fish.
What has been the most rewarding moment in your art career so far?
Oh, um, in my art career, I really love just as a person. I love giving people gifts.
Mm.
Um, and I think some of my favorite moments, and it's I'm blessed to say that it's happened multiple times, where like I've made something very specific for a person,
Mm.
like actually like an inside joke in like painting or drawing form, and they loved it. And um, felt so touched by it, and I was like, wow, I didn't realize that this would have this effect on this person. Yeah, an example is uh I made stickers for my friend's graduation. They were such an inside joke. It was like a cashew and a resistor mashed into one with a grad cap on it, but he was so touched. And yeah, I think I just live for those moments where I get to surprise someone that's with something that's like specifically made for them. Um, yeah, I think those are my favorite moments.
Finally, what's next for you in your artistic journey?
Ooh. Yeah, I mean, apart from the Chinatown mural that I am working on this summer, and hoping to start painting by August, uh, I am actually trying to lean more into digital art too. Trying to teach myself Illustrator,
Oh yeah.
mostly for the purposes of like, yeah, web design because I want to incorporate my artistic eye into the websites that I've been designing for like nonprofits.
Mhm.
But yeah, Illustrator is hard.
Yeah,
So
I get
that
that.
is what's next. But yeah, I don't know. I am really excited about this Chinatown mural. I hope that, yeah, it's like powerful. Yeah, it may be subtly powerful. I think I'm not going for any sort of like activism or political statement, but I think that like just giving a place life with art is powerful in itself. So yeah, I'm excited for that.
And that wraps up our conversation with muralist Maddie Chan. Her story reminds us that art doesn't just live in walls, it lives in the questions we ask about ourselves. Oh wait, what is this? What just happened?
Oh,
Oh my gosh, we're running out of time.
it's okay. You got 10 minutes left. Say
Um,
the outro again.
and that wraps up our conversation with muralist Maddie Chan. Her story reminds us that art doesn't just live on walls, it lives in the questions we ask about ourselves, our roots, and how we show up in our communities. Whether it's through a bold brushstroke or a quiet moment of reflection, Maddie's work shows us how creative expression can bridge cultures, tell powerful stories, and reconnect us with where we came from. If you're ever walking through cities like Bellevue, take a moment to look around. You might just see a place of her heart on the walls around you. Thanks for listening to the SYL Podcast, a podcast by SYLP students. I'm Andrew, and we'll see you next time with more voices building community across Seattle. All right, that's it.
Yay. You like really hype me up there. There is one singular place in Bellevue they can maybe see my work.
Oh shoot, wait, should I just
It's okay. Nah, it's okay. It's okay.
uh